coming to you from the Mount Carmel Prayer Trail, and I wanted to let you all know that we are taping this on Monday the 30th, right before the governor's directive for everybody to shelter in place. So we're trying to come and bring a little bit of encouragement to you. And on the prayer trail, our original intent was we have stations of the cross that go on each station, and it has scripture and a prayer to say. But now we're going to keep everybody safe and say, don't come to the prayer trail. What we're going to do is send the prayer trail to you. And so today on our website, you will have the Stations of the Cross. And many of you will say, well, the Stations of the Cross, isn't that Catholic? What are Methodists doing the Stations of the Cross? And actually it's for everyone, and there's a Protestant version too. So on this printout, you will see the stations, and a couple that were not used in the Protestant, I'll list them, but there's no verbiage for it or anything like that. So if you want to find out more, then just go ahead and Google it. But sometimes you just need to go and let the scriptures talk instead of the pastors. And so this is a time that we're coming into Palm Sunday and entering into Holy Week. We're encouraging you to take the time to immerse yourself and travel the way to the cross with Jesus. So each station will have a scripture and some a prayer, and it also has verbiage that people can respond back and forth. So I encourage you to do it with your families. I encourage you, if you're alone, maybe call somebody up and say, hey, you got it on the web? Let's say it together and let's go through it together. But it is a time, this time especially, with the uncertainty that we're facing, the Stations of the Cross remind us of a few things. They remind us that we can trust in Jesus. And so right now we're just like, who can we trust? How do we get peace? And I want to say, to immerse yourself. So, just sometimes you just got to tuck into the arms of Jesus when things seem like they're getting really bad. And keep all your health care workers and everybody in your prayers as you do this too. Kind of just revolve them around in your mind. So the other thing that the Stations does is that it puts us in the story. We're not just reading the story, we're immersing like we're there. And so I encourage you, just don't rush through. We talked about sauntering on Sunday. Just kind of take a prayer a day or two prayers a day and spend some time. Spend some time to let the peace that passes all understanding come to you. It also reminds us of Jesus suffers with us. And many of us are suffering, and it might not be from physical ailments, but anxiety and unable to sleep at night. And so do we know that Jesus goes with us in every circumstance that we're going to be in. It compels us to action. It's very hard now to find out who you can help. But telephone is always the option, right? And I think everybody needs to hear each other's voice. So if you have long-distance relatives you haven't talked to in a long time, if you have friends from high school or college, I say this time of isolation is a time to reach out and time to just say, hey, how you doing? I was thinking of you this day. And so it brings hope, the way Christ brought hope to us as he went to the cross. It also helps us, if we're not quite sure who Christ is in our life, for us to make a decision for Christ. And so this is going to be a very, very powerful Palm Sunday. It's going to be a very powerful Holy Week because we're separated but together through Christ. And so to see how the miracles that Christ will work in this current situation is going to be awe-inspiring, and I believe a revival is going to kind of just burst out of it. And so I think we're just going to be all so hungry for Christ and for that gospel message, and know that the world is a precarious place and we have no control over it, but there is one who does, the King of Kings. It also reveals God's response to the evil world, and so that's what we see here now. And some people are asking me a question of, well, did God send the coronavirus and that? And it's just God works good out of all bad things, and so God is going to work good on through these things. God doesn't bring evil. God is not evil. But God will bring his peace, his healing, and resurrection through this time. And we're going to be a better people for it, a better world for it, because all of a sudden we realize we're all on the same ship. And that ship is precious, and it is God's precious gift to us. And each of us are of worth. The other one is the certainty of God's love. As you go through here, you will just see the love that is poured out for humanity through Christ on the cross. And it also takes us and guides us from the cross to the resurrection. And sometimes we just want to go to Easter morning but you can't get to Easter morning without going to the cross and without the empty tomb. And so I encourage you to take this time with your families, even over the telephone, just to immerse yourself in this word, because Christ speaks better and more powerful than any lowly pastor can. And so just have that moment to open yourself up to the healing of Christ. Go in peace. Amen.